Hello and welcome to a scene for the House of Cards. Today, Dextra is taking her gargoyle out to show him all the wonders of Hong Kong. Well, some of the wonders. It takes quite a while to show all the wonders. So, so she's going to begin by showing him around some of the streets and pointing out cars and lights. And when it seems to be getting a bit too much with the giant tower blocks and everything, she'll end up taking him along to Riker's nightclub where, they can kind of have a bit of a sit down without anyone asking why they don't have any drinks. And so Dexter is known to the bouncer, and she'll be able to get the two of them in fairly easily with a nod to him, and they'll be making their way in to have a seat, and they'll see Jolie, who's already sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
Dexter will wave to Jolie.
Ah, Jolie waves back and he comes to Dextra. Hey Dextra, who's your new friend?
This is Tesla. Tesla, this is Jolie. He's one of the equation.
Tesla has been very slowly walking behind Dexter. People tend to get out of his way a little bit, considering he's just shy of 7 feet tall. And he bends down every now and then to inspect the wheels on the cars and to gaze, mesmerised at the lights and the sounds and the beeps of the traffic and that sort of thing. And he walks into the bar behind Dextra, and when he's introduced to Jolie, the sort of grey, slate-like eyes fall upon this person before him, and he gives a very slow nod and this is a slight flicker of his lips.
Hi Tesla, I'm Jolie. Nice to meet you.
He looks at Dextra as she can see his hand sort of holding out, as if he's like, is it okay to shake hands?
She's going to smile at Tesla. And if he's still kind of looking at her for approval, she'll give him a small nod.
He holds out his frankly oversized hand towards Jolie.
Yeah. Jolie shakes it. So, how have you been doing?
I've been doing okay. I've been putting up a load more cameras, and I met this guy that had been asleep since the 1900s. 1900, and then Tesla is here, and he needs to learn about the city as well.
Hmm. Do you know the rules that are in place?
Pardon?
He was asking Tesla, do you know the rules that are in place?
He raises an eyebrow slightly and then tenses his jaw. I'm aware of the rules of... He looks at Dextra. Our society.
I think he's asking about the accord between our kind and his kind and all the other supernaturally kinds around here. Because you know how I said you're not allowed to go around killing them and stuff?
Oh,
And they're
okay.
not allowed to attack you either. So, like if you see werewolves, it's not a great big deal.
Okay.
That's good. We got that out of the way. Um, have you made any progress on the spiritual wall situation?
Um, Not yet. I thought you were looking into mapping that.
Oh, I did. It's interesting. Apparently, rivers don't go through it. They just stop. Weird.
So, like, is there a great big pool building, like in a dam?
It looks like a spider web on fire. Hmm. Which is weird. But, yeah. Spider web on fire.
Tesla goes over to the bar. I presume there's a bar
Yeah.
Yeah.
with like optrics and all that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And he leans over the bar and grabs a glass, and then sort of looks curiously at the pumps that make the drinks, and pushes one ever so gently with his hand, and it falls over and starts spilling beer out of it. And he
So the
puts the glass,
bartender is probably panicking.
and not knowing how to turn it off, he just leaves it on, overfilling as he takes the beer and lifts it to his lips.
Yeah,
And
the bartender is gonna probably hurry over and fix that.
And
And Dexter is
Jolie,
going to kind of hurry over to the bar and hand over some money to the bartender.
yeah, Jolie was going to do the same. So he's right next to Dextra.
Apologetic glance.
Tesla
He's
puts
next to, yeah. Sorry.
he's drinking the beer, and he looks surprised. He's like, cold.
Um, yes, they keep it cold with refrigeration, which is kind of like it's quite weird because it's kind of like you pump the heat out and then the heat goes elsewhere. Mm.
Yes. Uh, Come, let's sit. And he puts out some money for the bartender for the damages. So that, yeah, for your trouble, you know. And tries to motion the group back to their seats.
And Dexter will kind of head over towards one of the booths.
Uh, there is one thing that truly caught my eye while I was investigating. Even though apparently they were making progress to actually take it down for a bit, the beam shot up out of, I think, somewhere around town and fixed it right up. Just kind of annoying.
Somewhere around here.
Mm.
Do you know where?
He looks at the map and the direction from the where it came somewhere, and it was in kind of like over in an instant, but mm, someone's actively trying to repair it as soon as the other people are destroying it, which is worrying. Hmm. Did you see any beams on your camera? Zzz. Girl.
Um, no, but I can check the footage a bit more. I mean, it's not something that it was set up to look for.
Hmm.
There's a lot of cameras. You can't really watch all of them all the time.
True. Maybe we can figure out where the beam is coming from and then uh, trace it back to their hideout.
It's worth a try.
I don't even know what type of. He thinks for a moment that this is weird. What type of cameras would we need to actually identify the beam here? I don't know.
So, I haven't explained the council stuff yet. Do you want to explain that to Tesla?
Sure. Uh, I'm. Well, we all are members of the Council of the House of Cards. Mm, if I remember correctly, you and points out Dextra. You are from the. You originate from the House of Staffs.
She'll nod.
I don't know which house would you be in. Point looks to Tesla.
Staffs.
Still, okay. Uh, Usually there are uh, different houses that the various groups are situated in. My personal one is in charge of oversight of all of the houses, so that we make sure everyone plays nice. Mm, But besides the various houses, which are staves, barnacle, swords, and I think there was one more.
Did you just say barnacle?
Out of character, I forgot to the one for Magi, the correct term.
Pentangle.
Pentangle, thank you. Don't know why I thought it was barnacle. But
There's the
back,
cups, the swords, the pentangles, and the staffs. And the staffs are for the kindred, and the pentangles are for the mages, and the cups are for the fairies. Um, that's both the westerly kind and the easterly kind. And then there's the swords for the shifters, like werewolves, but also uh, other things, like birds and stuff.
yeah, all of the animal kingdom that shape shift into man. Those are the Hasselblad swords. However, there is one more group, the group that both myself and Dextra here belong to.
The major arcana.
Exactly. Each seat there has a certain function that we were elected on said seat to do to actually fulfill that function until the council deemed us unfit for duty and vote us out. Hence, the only reason why I would participate in the actual council meeting is because I actually have been voted on the major arcana.
Because the equation, they don't have one of the houses. They just kind of set up the place where it happens.
Exactly. We are the ones that make sure that everyone plays nice. Because technically, we're playing host here.
Kind of like the Keeper of Elysium.
You see that his face. You see that his face is sort of. He nods every now and again, listening to what you're saying, and then my role is to be of service, and as far as the master explained to me, I'm not to be involved in inner politics.
That's fair enough.
Bear in mind that in the in the 1800s when Tesla was created, that was the way it was for gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
It may not necessarily be the case now, but he hasn't been told otherwise yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, anyone can participate in said meetings, and if you have something to say, you can say it as long as you speak in turn. Always speak in turn. That is proper for said formal meetings.
I can certainly be useful, but I'm more a man of action than of words.
That is good. I hope that we didn't lose you anywhere with our explanations.
Mm. I used to listen to a lot of the conversations between other members of the House about all the politics and comings and goings.
Okay. But do let us know if it becomes too complicated, alright?
I'm sure if there is anything I can do, you can request assistance from either my mistress or my mistress's house.
That is fair. I usually request he looks to Dextra.
She's going to look a bit embarrassed by this, but she's going to kind of raise a finger like, yep, that's me.
Yes, I request her aid from time to time as a fellow member of the Major Arcana. It is good to have you here, regardless.
So, we didn't really get much chance to talk on the way here because there was a lot of new stuff and people around. But do you have any questions about the city?
We are in the yes.
Yes.
I am led to believe that I was captured in the East, but I don't know much of its habitat or customs. But if I'm allowed to explore, I will learn in time. I'm good at. He puts his hand on the wall, and it's looking around to make sure it's not in direct sight of anybody else.
Mhm.
He lets his hand melt into the wall slightly, absorbing things.
Well, I definitely think that exploring would be a good idea, it, but you need to be careful near the north of the city because there's this mystical wall thing that I can't see, but if people try going through it, um, it goes badly.
Yeah,
So as long as you don't try going too far north, you should be okay.
yeah. I actually touched the wall with one of my fingers. It just got away. So don't touch it. You see his hand, it doesn't have any problems right now. So you don't know which finger he's talking about.
Alright. I don't think I'm permitted to go too far without supervision anyway, considering my unusual appearance.
That is how you feel?
That is the wishes of the Council of Masters.
Hmm. Very well.
But I will explore the immediate area and make note of any suspicious activity.
Please do.
That does sound like a good plan. And you never know, you might meet people to talk to. It's always good to make friends.
Exactly.
I like this beer.
Yes, beer actually tastes good.
He seems to have no trouble drinking it, or helping himself to the complimentary peanuts on the bar, which are now sadly depleted.
Oddly enough, this particular Quajan doesn't know any better because to him, you don't draw substance from it because you don't absorb chi. So to him, it's like whatever.
Dextra's a bit surprised by it, but she doesn't really know a great deal about gargoyles. Um, so she's just going to wander over to the bar and pick up one of the menus and bring it back. And she's going to put the menu in front of him and a small pile of money.
He looks blankly at the piece of paper.
Um, Money is what you use to pay for goods and services.
I know what money is. I don't know what these words are.
Oh, they're different food items that the bar can make for you.
He squints at the page slightly, trying to adapt to the different syntax typeface. word structures in modern language, considering that he's not particularly well read anyway, being from a poor background. I think I'd prefer what I had earlier, he said, alluding, with a slight smile, alluding to the blood packs he's been being fed at the chantry.
They are generally better for you, but I just figured you've got the option, and now you've got some money for exploring with. But next time you want to get a beer, you should probably ask the bar person to pour it for you.
I just wanted to see what it did.
That's fair enough.
Yes. And as long as you pay the bar person, you will receive the items on the menu. As long as everyone's paid, everyone's satisfied, and no one raises an eyebrow on what we do. Money helps. Money helps a lot.
And you could always see about getting some more clothing if you wanted.
I know a few shops if you would like. Ah, okay. So, anything interesting happen with you, Dextra?
Well, there seems to be more people coming to the city. And I'm getting on well with the rest of the people that I've met so far.
That is good.
And gradually putting up more cameras and stuff, and doing research. And the Changelings took me to the Goblin Marketplace.
How was that like?
Well, I can't remember most of the time in the market, but I wrote it all down, and apparently it was quite interesting. Lots and lots of different people and different things on sale. And then we went to the council chambers, and I can remember that bit. And there was this strange cartoon puppy. It was really cute. And then Adam was a bit weird, and then he gave me a dancing elephant.
Okay. Dancing elephant.
Yeah, this little model of an elephant, and it was dancing.
Hmm. Interesting. You think to
He's a
himself,
bit creepy sometimes, isn't he,
who?
Adam?
Well, he does make from time to time some remarks that I'm not too comfortable with, but I always chalk up to the fact that he's from the United States of America, and his humor doesn't translate as well.
Maybe, but he seemed quite serious about it.
I don't know what to say. I don't know the man that well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Other than he is quite entertaining from time to time, but uh,
And how he looks kind of like a lion sometimes.
yeah, he tends to change into a lion from time to time. Don't know what's up with that, but stranger things may have happened. And I heard that there are abilities that permit you to do such. Maybe he has one of them. I don't know. Ooh, cool.
Wouldn't be unheard of.
Indeed.
Perhaps at some point I can be informed of any current tasks or difficulties you're experiencing. See if I can be of assistance in these matters.
Well, we're trying to work out how to get rid of this wall, but anyone that goes too close will get hurt, and we can't see it, unlike a lot of the other types of people. So I'm not sure.
Well, technically, here we can't see it. But I can take you both to a place where you can, if you really want to. Although you'd both have to be on guard at that point because the denizens don't truly like it all the time when you just go around in their neighborhood. Applies to everyone, I guess.
It might be worth seeing what that fox lady has got up to, because she seemed to be going around and talking to everyone about getting them to do stuff together.
Mm, well, if you want, you could go to the north and in a private place. I could show you the wall itself in a
Might be
different.
an idea.
Mm, wanna get into the car and drive up and
Oh, oh! I just thought of something.
do what?
You know how there's all those mages in the suits and the sunglasses that are going around and being creepy we have to worry about?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and here's your look at Tesla, maybe you could try and keep your eyes open for them.
Of course.
Yes, every one of us has to keep an eye out for them, not just the company present. They mean us all foul. That is one of the reasons why the council was formed.
I will. What do you want me to do if I find one?
Um, See if you can very, very carefully follow it without being seen. But if it notices you, um, call for backup. Speaking of which, I should definitely get you a phone.
Yes, that would be wise and an explanation on how to use it.
That too.
Mm,
We'll pick one up on the way back to the chantry.
He nods.
That would not be enough for everything. Well, there are a few shops, but I think that uh, Dextra knows better which one uh, is cheapest and most cost effective. Cost effective and user friendly. But I do not wish to take any more of your time. Um, if at one point you'd like to see the wolf for yourself, do let me know.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether we'd be able to do much about it right now. It might be an idea to get a group of people together and go together.
Oh, well,
Out of character, I think we need Ari or Will.
yeah, out of character, I know what you mean. It was more like, hey, let's go in a group. Yes, that is, I approve of this message. But anyway, back in character. Yes, we will have to think of a battle formation and who does the research, who does the bodyguard, and who does the talking to the inhabitants of such place. We would have to distribute our roles smartly before we'd actually go into one of those expeditions. But I will report my findings to the council itself, and hopefully you watch out on the footages, the various footage on your various cameras that maybe one of them caught beam. Not sure if they can see into multiple spectrums of light, but I'm sure you can buy a few of those, right? If push comes to shove.
Yeah. Um, well, if we can try and find as many of the other people from the council as possible and see about getting them together, maybe we can, you know, work out if anyone else knows stuff yet and see about a group visit and we'll all go to the Shadowlands or the Humbury place and have a look at it.
True. However, I'm curious to know about the beam that keeps on fixing it, which is annoying as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, we need to find out where that thing is too. But
And
when we
and it,
find out where it is, we're probably still going to want to look at it in the different places.
oh yeah, totally. Do install cameras up in the mall and different spectrums of light and the like. I don't know how they work, but I'm sure you can figure it out, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, Probably just need to check that the cameras are picking up the appropriate spectrums, shift them if necessary. Shouldn't be too tricky. It's just finding out
The
what
right
we're
one.
doing, if you see what I mean. Actually doing it shouldn't be too hard.
Oh well, we have a battle plan now, so I'll I'll see on my notes to try to talk to the other magi, maybe figure out how to, I don't know, do that or the people of the swords to track down the beam. Don't know who's the better tracker right now. I'll see maybe if I can find enough people.
Well, if there's going to be fighting and stuff, it's probably better going with the sword people.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking more like a scouting party mixed in with the bodyguards that can take a beating if push comes to shove.
Okay.
So I think that's the plan that I'm going with. Do let me know if you find out anything.
I will, but
Uh,
I definitely think we need to try and pull people together rather than go scouting by ourselves.
oh, definitely. But as long as we have the information, we can tell other people, and then when we actually go and
Hmm.
do stuff,
Could you
we
see the beam normally?
uh, in the realm that I was, I could, but I didn't visit. I didn't visit the north in this one, oddly enough.
Well,
Uh,
I was just thinking
mhm.
maybe if it got triggered again, we could see where the beam was coming from if someone was up rather high looking.
Yes, that's exactly the plan, and that's why I said maybe you have the right cameras. Um, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, but what I meant is, without even using the cameras,
mm,
just if someone is rather high and can see where the beam comes from.
mm, okay. Maybe if we, I don't know, either the swords or the pentacles might actually figure that one out.
Um, actually, uh,
Mm,
I might need to ask about that, but we might be able to have someone who could fly. Here there'll be a bit of a glance towards Tesla because she's not sure, but
What
she's.
was that? What was that? Sorry, I missed it.
I said we might be able to have somebody who could fly.
Just some nods.
oh, okay. It's good to have another member of the council that can fly. He's pondering for the right words. Uh, but
So, if the beam was triggered and he was up high, he might see where the beam came from.
true, that is another possibility.
But that's only necessary if nobody else has already figured out where the beam came from.
Yeah, that's why I said a mixed scouting party that actually has bodyguards that can take a beat. And if you don't mind me being so bold, uh, think that we have a few members that can take a beating and dish it out.
Like I said, probably mostly looking at the House of Swords for that, but not just the House of Swords. And again, kind of a glance. Um, and there's lots of different people with different skills.
Exactly. But anyway, it's already been long enough for me. I'll have to return to my studies at you know where. Uh, it was a pleasure meeting you, Tesla. I hope to see you again soon. And Dextra, it is always a pleasure to see you.
Well, I'm glad we ran into you.
And with that, after uh, Jody respectfully bows to both of them, he gets up and walks off and goes back to essentially the place of both his work and study and sleep, although no one knows exactly where exactly he sleeps. Yeah.
And Dextra and Tesla will probably sit in the bar for a bit longer. Maybe there'll be another beer involved, and then they'll wander off homewards again. And there the scene will end.